You're not coming across loud and clear. What's wrong with your mic?
Oh, no, nothing wrong with my mic. Check, check, 1, 2. Sigh. All right, everybody. Welcome to this again. Welcome to Midday Market Update. My name is Glenn Tompkins, Senior Instructor here at VectorVest. Glad to be here. And yeah, glad you're here. Hopefully, you all had a good weekend. Today's the first trading day of the week of a very active week this week. So this was entitled The Week Ahead. So we're going to talk about expectations for the week this week to get you guys prepared so that you could be proactive and not reactive to the market. I think that that's more important than trying to react to what the market does, is to be proactive and be ahead of the game. And VectorVest will help you to do just that. So again, there you go. So sing out. I'm not going to sing out yet, Carol. I will, though. I will today, but I won't be singing out just quite yet. It's timing. Timing is everything. Timing is everything. Boston is here in the background. You can say hello to her as well. Joey is in the background. He's my producer. He's feeling a little bit under the weather today, but he is still here as a trooper. I got to give him a cheer for that. He's struggling, but he's okay, and he's here, so I appreciate it. Ramon says, "Oh no, don't do it. You don't want me to sing? Wow. You know, I got such a tough crowd. It's okay though. I love VV Nation, whether you like it or not. I still do love VV Nation 110%. All right, couple of things I want you to do. If you're brand new to the channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so that you'll be alerted to when new live streams or videos. We do videos all throughout the week as well. Great content on our YouTube channel, so make sure you hit the bell icon to be alerted to that. Hit the like button if you're here every week and you like the content and the content was worth your time to be here. Hit the like button for me, all right? And if you're new and you're not sure just quite yet, as we go through the content, I still invite you to hit the like button. Now, the big thing is I am making a push this year, going into the end of this year, going into next year, and I'm going to need your help. I'm making a push to grow the channel because of the content that we put out. We put out a lot of great content, but we're not getting the amount of people as I think we should be getting for the content that we put out. So I need you guys every live stream to share the link to the live stream. Share it on your social circles. Help us to get, you know what I'd like to see? I'd like to see us get over 300 people in the room. Now, I know after the fact, we get more than 1,000 views on just about every live stream that we do, okay? But on the live stream, I need you guys to share. I want to see if we can get over 300 people in the room today. And I think that that's a small amount of number compared to the amount of people out there who are investing in the market for the content we put out. So I'm asking you from the bottom of my heart, take a moment right now to share this link on your social circles. Let's get more people in the room. All right. And once they're here, let me worry about trying to keep them here and becoming part of VV Nation. All right. So I put that all out there because I think it's important. And we really do need to do a push between Patrick and I and everybody on YouTube. We put our hearts into bringing the content. We just don't just say, hey, whatever, we have a channel, here's a video, or here's a live stream. If you've watched me for any amount of time, there's a lot of work that goes into the stories that I put together, and there's a lot of intentional thought that goes into that so we can have conversations about what's going on in the market and how you can better use it for your advantage. All right. So with that, let's get into what's going on in the market today. This week, right now, a lot of mixture of red, yellow, and green in our color guard. The market's still having a hard decision on which direction it wants to go, but the primary color is yellow, which means what? Slow down. It means caution. So from the perspective of being proactive instead of reactive, this should aid you in what you should be doing in your current positions. Tighten stops. You know, on a good up day like today, let the market do its thing, but always be prepared for a reversal. As we go into the program, this is what the major indices are doing. All right. The Dow is up 292 points, up about 0.9%. The biggest mover, though, is the Russell 2000, up about 1%. That means on a day like today, people are willing to be a little bit more risky in the market and take advantage of the lower dollar stocks. Now, this is what catches my attention right now. The VIX is up. It's above 20, which means there's a lot of volatility in the market. Normally, when the VIX is up, the market is down. So this is a little bit of a telling sign of what the markets feel. Why does the market feel this way? Why is the market moving up and volatility going up at the same time? A lot of it has to do with the Fed decision coming up later this week. There's a lot of news. There's CPI coming out. There's the Fed decision, the last rate hike going into the year, and most people feel that it's going to be a 50 basis points, which should really drive the market higher because people will have the intonation that the inflation is doing better, the Fed is backing off a little bit. I put a story here on one of my live streams that showed that the Fed was willing to do 50 basis points, but going into next year to go back higher again. Well, that's like taking the rug out from everybody. So we'll see. The problem is that all of this is conjecture. All of this is speculation, and we won't know what the Fed does until the Fed does it. The 50 basis point, I think, is so baked into the market. But what if he says, wow, the CPI number is not good. The jobs are still strong. All I can really do is raise it another 75 basis points. What happens to the market going into the end of the year? It goes down like an airplane. That's the airplane going up. But if he decides to go 75 basis points, the market is not going to like it. So he's walking the tightrope of, listen, inflation may be peaking, but it's still high. What do I need to do? The job of the Fed is to have stable prices in the market, and number two, to have max employment. Well, I think he's got over max employment. I did a video that showed that there's 11.4 million jobs out there, more jobs than people looking for them. So the jobs market is still strong. In a true recession, the jobs are hard to find and unemployment starts to rise. Unemployment is still low. That's the tightrope. Well, I'm trying to stabilize prices, shrink the economy, but part of that is the jobs number. So as I look through all of this stuff, folks, you have to take all of this into some sense of understanding what's truly going on. And I still think that caution is advised. But on a day like today, when the market gives you an opportunity to make money, by all means, you take it. All right. But do it cautiously. Don't back up the truck. And don't let your stops be so far away from the stocks that you give it all back. Does everybody in the room understand what I just said? Type a 1 in the room if you do. Type a 2 in the room if I've confused any of you. All right. Every session, I always do a little bit of some understanding of what's going on in the market outside of just looking at stocks, folks. All right. And that's the value add that we bring to our channel. It's not just talking about, hey, go buy this stock because it's doing this, or stay away from. There's a lot of education. There's a lot of deep-rooted thought that goes into the presentations that we do on our live stream, which is the reason why I am pushing to get more people into the room to get the benefit of what we provide as a value add on our YouTube channel. All right, so that's what it's all about. All right, so all of the markets going up. You know me, on Mondays, I do a little bit more into the market timing perspective, more so than any other day. Let's go take a look at the market timing graph. Starting from the market open this morning, the market intraday 1-minute bars is just running up. That's it in a nutshell. It's going up. It's pulling back now. We had a little bit of a channel. It's pulling back now. The 3 and the 8 just crossed intraday 1-minute bars, but still a lot higher than it was from the open. Let's take a look at a 1-month graph. This is the market. So going into the Fed announcement, off of this high, the market's pulling back but leveling out. And I think that for the week ahead, until the announcements are met, I still think that we're going to stay in this sideways pattern. The 3 is currently below the 8, which is giving more of a bearish feel. But this level of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days, including today, a little bit of sideways move, a little bit of consolidation, That's what's going on. And thus the reason why you need to have tighter stops on your stocks. Down one day, down one day, up one day, a little bit of wick, a little bit of selling pressure, follow through the next day. And now we've got a little bit of a bullish harami going into tomorrow. If we close this way, today's candle is currently inside the body from Friday. It is a bullish, could be a bullish reversal going into the announcement. All right. So from a market timing perspective, down off of the high, but sideways move. We had out of the last 5 days a couple of up days. Take advantage of that. I was doing good with SGML, then it failed. Now I hear you, Glenn. So Lynette, again, I think that the caution is there. I think that the tighter stops need to be there. All right, on these down days, this is 2 big down days. And a lot of you got stopped out of a lot of stocks or took a lot of big losses right here. And what do? You say, well, the market's going to come back because the Fed's going to raise 50 basis points instead of 75. What if he doesn't? Now, those stocks that you have losses in are going to incur more losses. That's why, you know something, I'd rather you get stopped out here and wait for another buying opportunity. Does that make sense to everybody in here as well, folks? We're in a little bit of consolidation. If you're not in any stocks right now or you are partaking of these up days, do so with caution. All right. Hopefully that makes sense to everyone. And Lynette, thank you for that. And Roger said the same thing. Yep, mine stopped out at a loss this morning. And I'd rather you, coming back to that point, I'd rather you take a small loss in a stock in a time like this than to incur bigger losses, which will make you emotionally want to do silly things to overcome it. How many of us have been in that situation? Took a big loss in a stock, and then you do some super aggressive stuff to overcome that. Type of 1 in the room. Type of 1 in the room if you've been in that same boat. I'm going to type a 1 because I've been in that boat. I've been in that boat. So the whole idea of being proactive instead of reactive lends credence here. I'd rather you take the smaller loss than to incur the big loss and then try to make the decisions to overcome that by making decisions outside of your normal trading activity, folks. All right, so just keep all of that in mind. This is what the market is doing today. From a market timing perspective, on Mondays, I will show that. And we're still in a confirmed up call. That might turn around pretty quickly. That confirmed up call with the market's conditions right now, especially with inflation and knowing what the Fed's, what the Fed may or may not do, that confirmed up call is going to turn around pretty quickly. If we look at our middle of the road timing signal, the DEW, we're still in an up call and have been for a minute. Look at that. We've been in an up call since, that was a great call to take advantage of the market. We've been in an up call here since 1025. And for those of you who are subscribers using this market timing call, it's done a great job. You've made a lot of money or had the opportunity to make a lot of money right here. And then, of course, our fastest, more aggressive timing call, the primary wave. Because of the market pull down, it is a faster indicator. It gave a down call on 12/6 of 2022. Folks, if you're not a subscriber to the VectorVest system, you know something, 99 cents will get you 30 days access to this market timing information. Depending on how you invest in the market, we have a market timing signal specifically designed for you. All right, and then you become a part of VV Nation, and then I will welcome you with open arms. So here I am today with open arms to bring you to VV Nation and something about inflation. And I'll love you all to the end of time. My words sound so good, but always they don't rhyme. Open arms. See, I want to bring you guys into VV Nation. Carol, that was for you. Carol, that was specifically for you. And you know me, I always love to have a little bit of fun. You gotta invest in the market and make some money and protect your assets. But who says that you can't do it with a little bit of fun? And that's what we do here. All right. So Thomas is crying. Sorry, Thomas. Sorry, Thomas. I could be a rap if I wanted to be. I could spit it from the top of the dome. Don't get me started. Don't get me started. All right. So with that all being said, let's talk about some news taking place in the market as well. Let's go to my news stories. Let's start off here. Economic calendar. This is going to be the big play for the week. All right. So I've got the economic calendar for this week out here. Monday, blah, 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 blah. I'm not worried about it now. Let's go look at tomorrow, CPI, year over year, core folks. This is going to be huge. And I'm wondering, now, how many of you think that the Fed is already made up its mind, that Jerome Powell made up his mind on what he's going to do? Type of one in the room. How many of you think that Jerome Powell's already made up his mind on what he's going to do? Type of one in the room. There's a reason why I ask this question. All right, type of one in the room if you feel that. Type of two if you don't think so. Type of two if you don't think so. All right, there's a reason. I want to see how many ones come up. I think a lot of you are going to feel the same way, that he's already made up his mind. Now, the reason why I ask this question, what if core CPI, what if the CPI number tomorrow comes out worse than expected? Does he almost last minute change his mind? Type a yes in the room or a no. If the CPI number tomorrow comes out worse than expected, does he change his mind before Thursday or Wednesday? It's probably Wednesday. Type a yes or a no in the room. So there is a reason why I asked the question. If he's already set in stone, folks, I'm telling you, don't sleep on this. I'm telling you, don't. Doesn't the Fed vote on it? Now it's stock time. Is that how it works? Or does the Fed, the people vote, but does the Fed have the last say? Does the Fed have the last say? All right. And the Fed folks can say, what's worse than expected, up or down? I don't know what's worse than expected, actually. I'm thinking with Rick. Rick, I'm on your side. And I did a video over the weekend called What the Fed Should Do. All right. And I gave my 2 cents in regards to that. And I think it needs to still be 75 basis points. And from the beginning of this, I said at one time, I thought that he was going to raise a full 100 basis points. Still hasn't happened yet. All right. So there's more than Powell at the Fed. Stock time, I do know that. But I thought that he had the main say. I thought that that's how that worked. Somebody back me up on that. All right. So the Fed chiefs will vote, but does he not have the final say? Somebody back me up on that, because you know me, I'm not an economist. So I'm just curious. To know, does he not have the last say? All right. So with that, all I'm saying is that I think that the CPI number, if it's worse than expected, will have some influence on what he does as the last rate hike of the week. Wednesday, it's Wednesday at 2 p.m. Patrick and I will both be online on our live stream at 2 p.m. and we will spend all of our time with the FOMC. Good afternoon, John. All right. What the Fed is going on. I have to laugh at that a little bit. What the Fed is going on. And then Thursday, we have retail sales. That's going to be another sign of inflation. All right, think about that. Are they up? Are they down? And if they are up, then that means prices will still be up. All right, that means that prices will still be up. Natural gas, and on Friday we have oil, a lot of oil and gold stuff. All right, so that's all of the news that could affect this upcoming week. What do you do? What do you do? Pretty much be cautious. And if the Fed does 50 basis points, the market's going to take off like a bird. If he raises 75 basis points, then the market's going to be like, oh, that's what the market's going to be like, and it's going to cry a little bit. I think it's going to cry. Robert says, but if the CPI is better than expected, will he lower it? And my answer to that is he most likely will. Keep in mind that the raising of the interest rates is a laggard indicator. And a lot of people are saying he needs to sit back a little bit to see what the steep increase in interest rates have done to inflation. And it's going to take some time to see. And I think that's the main reason why he's looking at the 50 basis points. All right. So let's go to the next story. Fed's message, and this is my point. Fed's message that rates will stay on hold for some time clashes with the 2023 rate cut bets. And in here, after the fastest tightening of monetary policy since the 1980s, the central bank looks set on Wednesday to increase its benchmark rate by 50 basis points in a downshift after 4 straight 75 basis points. Such a move, widely flagged by officials, would lift rates to 4.25 to 4.5 target range, the highest level since 2007. They are also likely to signal another 50 basis points tightening this year, according to the economists. Financial markets agree in the near term, but see a rapid retreat from peak raises later next year. The clash could be because investors expect price pressures to ease faster than the Fed, which worries inflation will prove sticky after getting burned by a bad call, transitory. It could also reflect bets that rising unemployment will become a more weighty Fed concern. All right. So, how about this story? Investors grow more confident the Fed will pull off a soft landing. Mutual funds and hedge funds are putting money in stocks that would benefit from slowing inflation and falling rates. On the other hand, Bloomberg says, buckle up. It's going to be a hard landing. So a lot of this is news. Who's right? Who's wrong? You don't know until the Fed says what the Fed's going to say. Folks, you can't fight the Fed. That's what it comes down to. 2 different stories, 2 different opinions. It's all going to depend on what the Fed does. Other news, Rivian, which is stock I do like, pauses plans to make electric vans in Europe with Mercedes-Benz. This was a big story for them, and now they pulled back. Rivian said Monday it was pausing plans to manufacture electric commercial vans in Europe, no longer pursue the agreement made with Mercedes-Benz. They're looking at possibly doing it at a more appropriate time. Mercedes-Benz said Rivian's decision would not impact the timeline of its electrification strategy or the planned ramp up of its new electric vehicle manufacturing site in Jawar, Poland. We're going to see how that could affect Rivian. Microsoft buys near 4% stake in the London Stock Exchange as a part of a 10-year cloud deal. I like that. That could be big. Amgen to buy Horizon Therapeutics for $26.4 billion. You remember when deals were just millions of dollars? You know, when you go buy a company, hey, they spent a few million. Nowadays, it's all $1 billion. $26.4 billion deal. This is in the drug market. So HZP, I think, is that Horizon Therapeutics. AMGN is Amgen. What are you going to see in markets like this? A lot of companies can't keep up with inflation, so a lot of companies are going to get bought out. This gives opportunities for the bigger companies to buy smaller companies. Crude oil higher, rebounding after last week's recession-related sell-off. Everybody knows that I am still a fan of oil. I am not in my WTI trade right now. Oil has just been beaten up. I still got to say, on paper, with the colder months and Russia getting ready to cut oil to the rest of the world because of the cap thing and OPEC saying we're going to stop, we're going to pull back. The demand is there, but the supply is dwindling. Oil should go higher. I'll wait for a better opportunity to get into oil stocks, back into oil stocks. Oppenheimer cuts Apple stock price target by over 10%. That's a big cut on supply issues. But again, Apple is starting to move some of their business out of China and into India. It's going to take some time for that transition to happen. So we'll see what happens with that. Natasha says, same Glenn had to get out of WTI. Horizon was a big winner with top VST stocks the last list a while back. So John, it just goes to show that it's a good company. And Amgen said, I like that company. It's going to give us more of a reach with all of the people and subscribers or customers that they had. It should make Amgen a better company because Horizon Therapeutics wasn't a slouch of a company, right? Last but not least, Tesla to temporarily suspend Model Y production in Shanghai. We all know what's going on with the zero tolerance in Shanghai or in China. Slowly but surely, they're pulling back on that. According to Reuters, though, the pause will only be for the last week in December. So those are my news stories. Let's go back into the software. Let's go take a look at these stocks. My big news for today, there's Tesla, Microsoft, Amgen. I think that's really going to be good for Amgen. Amgen is currently overvalued. It's a safe company. The company makes money, but not a lot of upside potential. Maybe the buying of Horizon Therapeutics will give it more of a better outlook longer term. The company does make money, and it's positive. $18.41 positive earnings as a drug company, they are growing their earnings. Most drug companies don't, because they've got so much money in pipeline drugs, and FDA approvals are so prevalent that if the FDA doesn't approve them, these companies get smoked. So this is a good sign for a company like Amgen. Apple today, a little bit down because of call it a downgrade or call it just a pullback on Apple. Not a lot. Oil on the rise, and Rivian, the deal with Mercedes-Benz, looks like it's hurting it up a little bit. All right, so you know something? I'm going to try something different. CVNA, the next GameStop squeeze play. Ron, I'm gonna take a look at that. See, because that Carvana, are they short squeezing it? I think Carvana is just a bad company. I overall, just looking at it, we're gonna take a look at that today, Ron. We're gonna take a look at that. All right. I have some stocks of yours that people have put on our YouTube channel for me to look at, and on my Twitter page. If you ever want to follow me on Twitter, go search for @GlennTompkins Jr. I put a lot of content on my Twitter page. Would love for you to subscribe to it as well and follow me on Twitter. I put a lot of stuff up there outside of what I even do here on our YouTube channel. All right, so this is what I'm going to do new today. These are stocks that have made the news. All right, we can see what they've done. A couple of them are sales. How about Tesla and Rivian both being sales? How about the EV companies both being sales? I'm going to do something. I'm going to go to the graphs, and I'm going to do a performance graph. So these companies that we are looking at in the list, let's see out of the last month or so, which ones have performed the best. Which one is this one? Not that one. Not that one. It's this one. All right. So Microsoft is on the list, buying into the London Stock Exchange. This is what it's done from a performance level over the last 1 month. Let's go put on Amgen. So it's going to buy, wow, after it bought, or it's buying into Horizon Therapeutics. Look at the performance as compared to Microsoft. Let's go look at Apple with the cut on it. Look at Apple's all over the place. Again, this is performance over the last 1 month. Right now, Microsoft looks the strongest out of them. Let's go to oil. Good, googly muggly. Here's oil, green. Oil now looks the best out of all of them and the least volatile. Look at that. Even with what's going on with oil, with the pullback on oil, very interesting telling sign that it's the green line, that oil is has the least bit amount of pullback. Actually, Amgen does too, except for the big pullback down here. Let's go look at Rivian. Woof. Rivian from 1 month ago to right now just does not look good. So even with the story with Mercedes-Benz, it's not performing very well compared to the other stocks in the list, and Tesla is falling down as well. So if I'm looking at the stocks that have made the news, it looks like to me that the oil play is the strongest play. How many of you like what I just did in analyzing the performance of these stocks? All right, type of 1 in the room. I always try to bring something different to the table to make it, again, this is a value add. This is not just me telling you the stories, just reading the news, but this is, if I'm going to look at these stocks on a list that made the news, why not see which ones over the last month, which ones have performed the best? Greg says 0.5. All right, I'll take that. That's better than a 0. I'll take that, Greg. It's better than a 0. All right, so let's go back to the viewers. Those were my big stories. Earnings this week. I got a list of what stocks are reporting earnings. FactSet still shows that for the year, for this quarter, that more stocks are meeting or exceeding their earnings expectations rather than not. All right, which still bodes well for a good market. Coop and Weber are coming out real soon. Big moves on them coming into their earnings, and Weber is lower dollar stock. But look, what I don't like about it is that this stock is grossly overvalued, trading at $8 with a value of 57 cents. Folks, whether the earnings are good, bad, or indifferent, people are paying way more than what this stock is worth. Be careful with a stock like this. All right, please be careful with a stock like this. Nice upward move. But again, this is more of what you need to know rather than, whoa, it's up 23%, go buy it. The value is not there. Upside potential is not there. Safety is not there. The company's not making money, and they've got negative earnings growth rate. Again, no matter what, I think Weber is going private, says Albert. Is that what it is? All right. The USA chart is not pretty. USO chart is not pretty. I don't disagree with you, but if I'm looking at the top 5 stocks that made the news, the USO chart's got the most strength over the last one month. All right. Clean Spark, PHX, a lot of stocks up today. UTI reports later this week. Big down on it. I'd be careful with it as well. So these are the main companies that I have. Lennar is up in here. Planet Fitness is up in here. You know what my wife just told me? She says, baby, you've been playing for Planet Fitness for like the last 11,000 years, and you never go. She says, I need you to cancel that because we're going to get, what is that gym that Chuck Norris advertises? The Total Gym? My wife says we're going to get a Total Gym, and you're going to get out of Planet Fitness. Anybody own a Total Gym? And there it is. Frank said the same thing, that Weber was taken private. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Anybody own a Total Gym? All right. So my wife says I'm getting rid of Planet Fitness. So sorry, Planet Fitness. I got to stop my subscription. Cooper's being taken private too. Is that why they're both up that much? Thank you, Frank. I appreciate that. So is that why they're both up that much? So at least now you know. I do. Never use it. I go to the gym, says Paul. All right. Bill says Matrix. All right. So there we go. All right. Let's boogie on down. Fastest moving industries. All right. Last week, we came up with 3 stocks. Last week, Glenn, why not keep your Planet Fitness and get rid of all those streaming services you have? Because that's not happening. That's not happening. I used it to get stronger after surgery. Outgrew it in 6 months. Ooh, see, I don't want that to happen. I don't want that to happen. Oh, yeah. We went through what I show you how to find the fastest industries. We came up with 3 stocks. Let's see what they did. All right. So these were fastest industry stocks from last week. Let's see what they did. Let's quick test them. 1 week. Oh, we made a little bit of money. GoTo made 18%. All right. The other 2 lost us, but we made more money with the 1 stock that did go up looking at this process than the 2 that went down. And we outperformed the market. All right, let's empty this out. Let's do this again. Empty this watch list. Let's go to Unisearch. Let's go to industries. Delta searches industries. Let's go see what industries are on the rise. Tell the missus to come to Fuel with me. We can be gym buddies. Nope, she's not coming. She ain't coming to gym with you. All right, so interesting. 10 days ago, the delta or the change in relative timing on real estate development was 3.5%. Over the last 10 days, it's up 17%. Let's go see what stocks are in here. Let's view the stocks in that industry group. We're going to look at the top 5 stocks. Let me pull this up. We're going to look at the top 5 stocks. And let's go see what stocks I like out of this list. Let's go graph them all. See what stocks, put this on a 1-month graph, which stocks I like out of this list. Do-da. It's taken me a long time. Oh, a do-da day. Lisa, there we go. Wow. Forrester Real Estate. I love the move over the last month. It's consolidating. The 3 is still above the 8. I'm going to take that. FOR. Put that in the list. HHC. No. Heck no. I like the buying pressure here, breaking through resistance, another level of resistance. That could be a hanging man, could be a possible reversal. I'm going to take 4 in LEGH. I'm going to take 4 and LEGH. Add those to my watch list for the fastest industries. All right. And we're going to take a look and see what they did next week. All right. What's the next industry that's on the rise by way of relative timing? ETF sectors utility up 6.7% 10 days ago. Over the last 10 days, up 12.5%. Definitely tells me that it's on the rise. Can this list be found in the mobile app? You know, Ryan, no. I don't. And that's the difference between the mobile app and the non-mobile app. Like the desktop. The desktop gives you a lot of flexibility to do a lot of these things. The mobile app is designed on the go to give you information quickly while you're on the go. Does that make sense, Ryan? But what I'm doing here, you need to have the desktop version of it. If you have a desktop version, any desktop version of the software, you get the mobile app for free. Keep that in mind, Ryan. If you have even the lowest dollar desktop version, you will get the mobile app for free. That's for everybody out there. Let's graph these. Let's go see what stocks look good. Put this on a 1 month graph. See what I like. UTSL, I like that even the pullback to 388 held. All right, let's go take a look at it. I'm going to take that. No. Yes, I like that move. UTSL, FUTY. I like the FXU just 3 and 8 crossing. All right, UTSL, FUTY. I'm going to take those three. Add to the watch list and put that in. And let's go see one more industry that could be rising. See if we can find another one. Let's go see food. Ooh, look at that. Only up 2.6% on relative timing. 2.6% on relative timing 10 days ago. And over the last 10 days, it's gone up 11%. Let's go see what stocks are in here. Scooby-Doo. Oh, gosh. That's a lot of stocks. I don't want all of them. Let's go look at the top 5. All right, let's go take a look at these graphs. Right-click, view the stock graph. Put this on a 1 month graph. WWE, big selling pressure on this wick. Bigger than the body? No. Ooh. CCU is picking up off of a level of support. Very little wick at the top. I'm going to take that one. CCU. Ooh, FMX. I want that. CCU and FMX. Let's go take CCU, FMX, and put that into my watch list. And next week, we will check these. Close that out. Next week, we will see. We went through the process to find industries that are moving. And next week, let's stream these. Next week, we will test these and see if they made any money. You guys like that? Yes or no? You like that? One, I like what you always talking about. It helps me when trading. Excellent. Why do you like the 3 and the 8 moving averages? What is the rationale behind that, David? Because out of all my years of being here, the 3 and the 8 work. Whether I'm day trading, whether I'm swing trading, it does a really good job of pinpointing entry and exit points. Are we buying anything today? We don't ever buy anything in here. That's not what we do in here, Ravi. All right, my job is to get you some ideas. All right, let's go industry ETFs. Where's the money going today? The money is going, let's sort this by percentage price change. I've got a lot of ETFs in here to hopefully cover every aspect of the market. Natural gas, big leader today, up 7%. Energy up almost 2%. Oil up 1.83%. Oil, utilities up 1.26%. Where to stay away from? Commodities. Copper, gold, lithium commodity, real estate, stay out of as well. All right, so this is where the money is going today. Big movers to oil, energy, and natural gas. You know me, I always like to see what, from a speculative play. I give you some stocks to take a look at. Relative values, relative safeties will both be below 1, but RTs will be above 1. Let's go take a look at these, starting with IMMR. Go to the graphs. Let's go do some analysis on these. IMMR, no. IMMR. All right, so here's my speculative plays. Over the last month, I like IMMR over the last month. Looks good. Strong stock in that speculative space. All right, Luckin Coffee. Not as good as IMMR, pulling back, but I do like the move on Luckin Coffee. Pulled back ACLX. Nice move on it most recently. Nice move on it. I do like ACLX on my speculative plays. Mobily, it's the fourth best one out of the top four. And then TRQ, not so much. So if I'm looking at these, I like ACLX and I like IMMR. Those are the two out of the list of my speculative plays. I've got 5 of them, but I do like ACLX and I like IMMR. Keep your eyes on those going into the next week. My speculative plays last week, I didn't have any. All right, let's go to today's big winners. Man, the stocks that are making money. Which search are you using, please? In regards to those stocks, my speculative plays, I created a speculative search specifically for the channel. Speculative stocks. For those of you who are VectorVest subscribers, you can take a quick screenshot of this. This is my search that I use for speculative plays. This is the search that I use. So for those of you who are VectorVest subscribers, take a picture of this. And if you need someone like Boston or someone in product support to help you build it, they can Teams in on your or what do you use now? It's not Teams. What is it? Whatever it is, they can look at your screen and help you to build it. They can help you to build it. All right, so take a screenshot of that real quick. That's the search that I use to find my speculative play. Team Viewer, thank you, Boston. They can Teams into your screen and see the search that you took a picture of and help you to build it. All right, let's talk about today's big movers. A couple of these stocks I took advantage of. HARP, I'm getting beat up in it now. It's pulled back a little bit. I'm in HARP and I'm in RLMD. I saw that from the Jockey Club this morning, but a lot of stocks nicely moving up today. Big movers. All I tell you is do some analysis on this. HARP was a day trade. Why? Because it's trading at $2.20 with a value of 44 cents. This was news driven. Coop, again, the stock is being taken private is what you said, Coop and Weber. RMLD, I think that was probably some big news. It's still up 22% today. There's Horizon. Horizon is getting bought out by Amgen, so it's up 15% today. A lot of big movers. All I tell you is that no matter what, put them into the VectorVest software to make sure they're doing what you want them to do. All right, my weekly biotech stocks. Here's my 6 stocks for you. A lot of these have news coming out on them. Let's go see what my biotech stocks did from last week. All right, I had some stocks for you. Let's go back 1 week. Let's see if they did any well. You know, the reason why I give you these stocks is because a lot of times you see stocks go up 200-300%. You're like, man, I missed that. So, you know, I try to bring you stocks that have news. Good, googly muggly. MEIP got smoked like a pound of bacon. Ooh-wee. Now you understand why I want you to look at them. This is why, Ravi, we don't buy anything in here. These are stocks that I bring to your attention, but good, googly muggly, it got smoked bad, even with the catalyst news on them. So that's an unfortunate thing. All right. Weekly customer picks. I've already got some stocks that are here. Joanne. I don't remember the last name. But Joanne gave me a couple of stocks on YouTube in response to some of my videos, so I put those in there. Someone gave me a stock from my Twitter page as well. So let's do this real quick. I'm going to take a few of your stocks, just a few of them, a few of your stocks. Let's take a look at some of your stocks that you're looking at right now. Type them in the room. Type them in the room. All right. Hello is not a stock, but hi, Jazz. How are you? All right. I'm just taking a couple of them. I know that there's a delay between when I talk and when you hear. So, nobody, CVU, I'm about to say nobody's got a stock. I'm about to shut it down. Steel, STLD, FCFS, SQM, I do still like too. No, I don't. That's not the stock I thought it was. And ABBV. All right. Let's go take a look at these stocks. All right. Let's graph them all real quick. Put these on a 1 month graph. Now, remember, I don't know any news that's associated with this. Steel is on the rise over the last month. Look at the move. How about the 3 and the 8 have done a really good job keeping you in this stock. Open day today, more buying pressure. I like the trade. Next one. Wow, SQM. A little bit of a wick at the top, some selling pressure to 3, and you might have found a level of support. I need to see the bounce off support, the 3 and the 8 to go up on good volume. I wouldn't take it yet. FCFS, I do like the move. The 3 and the 8 are crossing. I don't like the wick at the top and the bottom. I'd like to see it more with less wick at the top, but I do like that on an end of day. The 3 looks good. I'd like to see more volume too. I want to see more conviction to the move. Go to big move. It was a good move last week. A lot of selling pressure on Friday, follow through, but the 3 and the 8 are still solid. All right, if you own it, I'd be careful with it. I would tighten stops on it, but if we're going to get into it now, I would not. ABBV, solid stock. Bottom left, top right, 3 and the 8 converging, but still bullish. Volume is okay. I'd like to see it better. RT above 1. Big down day Friday, but one day doesn't make a trend. Going into CVU, consolidation right here. Volume is leveling out. RT is still above 1, but consolidation. The 3 is still bullish, but they are converging. Be careful. TLT on the treasuries, down off of the high here, but the 3 and the 8 are still solid. These are pretty much both bearish candles, even though this is green. Be careful if you own TLT right now. Wow, AQM, I'm not touching that. I'm like MC Hammer. You can't touch this. Nope. This stock is not what I want it to be. It's going down. I do like utilities as long as they pay a dividend, but this stock is consolidating. It's just I'm not feeling it right now. First thing I need to see is the 3 to go above the 8. I just really need to see the 3 to go above the 8. Coin for short, I'm with you on that, John. ARGNF, Argonaut Gold. Someone, when I did my gold video, said, what about Argonaut Gold? Well, I probably could find you a better gold stock to be in right now. I do like the volume today. I do like a possible hammer formation. It could turn around. I'd be careful with this, all right? And again, I could probably find you a much better gold stock to be in. So I wanted to look at some of your stocks today. How many of you think that this is the time for value plays or growth plays? Type it in the room. How many of you in the current market's conditions feel that you would be more comfortable with a value play or a growth play? Type it in the room. Albert said it missed earnings big time. Yeah, that if that was the AQN one, I'm not feeling that. How many of you feel that this is? Now, I'm going to give you my 2 cents. I think that in the current market's conditions, we are more in a value play mode. Wow, a lot of people. Now, the people who are typing in growth, guess what? You're more aggressive, and I know that. But I think in the current market's conditions, value plays are the better way to go. Let's go look at my value plays. Before we look at my growth and value plays for this week, dividend stocks is not a bad play as well, Jazz. But if from that perspective, I got something for you. I got something for you today as far as dividend plays. All right, I got something for you for that. Let's go look at the value plays from last week. Let's see. It was only 2. I only had 2 value plays for last week. I'm already on the 5th. Let's go see. Let's quick test them. What did they do? It did much better than the market. It was very flat with Clack up 0.8%, where Merck was down 1%. That's on the value plays. Let's go look at the growth plays from last week. These were my stocks that had relative values above 1, more aggressive. They all had good earnings with the exception of 1 and good growth. Let's quick test them. And the growth plays didn't work out nearly as well. You guys are smart. I think you're right that this is more of a value play market. Now, for those of you who are saying growth, I'm not telling you you're wrong. What I am telling you is that the market is more conducive to value plays right now than it is to growth. And guess what? My plays from last week proved that point. All right. You guys were on point. I like that. So my value plays for this week are, let's stream this. There's a steel play. We looked at STLD. I have a value play for this week, RS. Broadcom, Elevance, CDW, and Lowe's. Notice that these are all fundamentally sound stocks with positive earnings and positive earnings growth. These are fundamentally sound value plays. We'll see what they look like next week. My growth plays for this week are, again, you'll find them that have good relative values, a little bit more aggressive, still positive earnings and positive growth. Almost all the RTs are above one. For those of you who are growth play people, here's my growth plays. All right, so there's my value plays. I'll put them up again. Here's my value plays going into next week. We'll test them and see how they did. And then, again, I still think that these will be stronger stocks going into next week. If the Fed only raises by 50 basis points and the market starts to rise, growth plays will then take the lead. Growth plays will then take the lead. All right, so someone asked me about dividend plays, right? I've got, where's my list? Growth, value plays, weekly, biotechs last week. There's a list. Where's my list? Featured watch list. There it is. My featured watch list this week are monthly dividend payers. Monthly, how many? So, Jazz, you want dividend stocks? I've got monthly dividend plays. These companies all pay dividends on a monthly basis. So, Jazz, I told you I had you squared away. I told you I had you. Here's my monthly dividend plays. And I think next week, Jazz, if you're here, I'm going to do a weekly dividend play. We have weekly options, not weekly dividend plays. We don't have weekly dividend plays. The least we have monthly dividend plays. How many of you all would like to see stocks like this on a weekly basis too? All right, I might have to change that to monthly dividend pays, but these all pay dividends. Let's graph them all real quick. These all pay dividends monthly. Let's go to 1 month. Let's actually put this on a 3-month. Let's go to the dividends. These pay dividends on a monthly basis, folks. All right. So I may keep, if you like this, let me see how many of you like this. If you like this, I may make this a weekly thing that I show you the monthly dividend plays. Not enough of you said you like it. So if you don't put it in there that you like it, I'm going to sit right here. Nope. I should see my screen go yes and just stream up like nobody's business. If you don't, I'm just going to sit here. Nope. Not enough. It's not enough. How many likes we got? 71. We got 71 likes. All right. It is what it is. It is what it is. Again, my job is just to bring you the information. All right. Now I see the yeses coming up. All right. I'm going to change that featured watch list to edit. Let's edit that. We're going to call this monthly dividend pays. 12. And we're going to do that every week. All right. Monthly dividend payers. All right. So guess what? Going forward, we're going to do that. I'm going to always, no matter what the market's doing, whether it's bullish or bearish or whatever, I'm going to provide you with 5 or so stocks that are monthly dividend plays. Again, I'm trying to do whatever is new and exciting to keep you guys here so that you can invite. Put me on my last screen. What is it? Is it this one? Yeah. All right, folks, I'm done. All right, I'm done for the day. All I really want you to understand is be prepared for the week ahead this week. The Fed is going to announce the last rate hike for the year. I think for the most part, people are all on board with the 50 basis points. I still say keep your eye on the CPI. If the CPI is worse than expected, I almost have to say the Fed's got no choice then to keep raising that to 75 basis points. I think. All right, inflation may have peaked, but the jobs number is a thorn in his side right now. All right, even if CPI is better, or let's flip it. What if CPI is not as good? I think then he's still got to fight inflation. So that's just my 2 cents. We looked at the market. The market's telling us to be more cautious either way. And that's being proactive instead of being reactive. No matter what the Fed says on Wednesday, if you're already proactive, you're taking the measures to protect your assets, and you're prepared to take advantage of a big bump in the market just the same. So keeping that. Yeah. Carol says, thank you, Glenn, for singing. Listen, I told you got to have a little bit of fun. What do you think will happen with the FOMC? Dave, I think that he's going to make a decision and the market's going to go up or down. That's my honest answer. That's my honest answer. I've given my viewpoint on what I think he should do in the most recent video. And folks, I laid out that whole story for you from the front to the end to explain why I thought or why I think what the Fed needs to do. Okay. But I'm just a guy. He's the guy. All right. I'm just a guy. He is the guy. All right. So with that, you're looking at the market, more yellow than anything. Be proactive, folks. I don't want you to be reactive. I don't want you to be really, really reactive. With that, I got to sign off. All right. Adios, arrivederci, ciao, au revoir, sayonara, aloha to all my peeps in Hawaii. Keep your feet out of the lava in Hawaii. Bon dia, shalom, shalom, salam, shalom, namaste, yasu. Until the next time, folks. See ya.